Greetings, I'm Pillar Nexus, Ancient Gladiator. Today with more Pillar Loves Tabletop games with Noria. Goal of this game is to have the most victory points at the end, and to that effect, you will have to accomplish two major factors. One is actually getting up on these tracks. To do so, you'll take city actions and spend the required resources or goods to move up a step. And your representatives will take that place as you spend with every action, every city action that you take. The second part is using your knowledge to influence politicians to invest in what you're trying to accomplish and take away from something else. Yeah. Every game's going to be different as players figure out what they can and want to do and apply that to the way the point system works. So, to that end, players have this neat little disc of actions. Every turn, you get to choose 3 discs that are adjacent and take the actions with them. Adjacency works as follows. These 3 are adjacent, these 3 are adjacent, these 3 are adjacent, and these 3 are adjacent. If you can get things lined up, you can have very efficient turns. Before you even do anything on your turn, you have the option to spend knowledge to either move a disc by 1 notch or spend 2 and switch out discs between 2 spots, or just move a disc to an empty spot. As for the actions themselves, the discs showing the resources, obsidian, mycelium, and energy get you the actual resources. Based on how many of these ships you have. Everyone should start with 1 of each, because otherwise you are getting nowhere. And the fact that I missed this part of the setup means I would have a lot of explaining to do if I'm actually running this. And people are thinking, wait a minute, how are we supposed to get resources in this game? You can get more ships from journeying to islands. But anyway, city actions are how you get more discs and actually get up on the tracks. If you need more resource discs, they are free. If you want any of these, they cost resources. In an expert game, these 4 are randomized. But in the learning game, it's cities for 1, journey for 2, tool for 3, bonus for 4. The journey action, the little blue disc with a cloud, lets you flip up a new island. Islands will start with ships based on the number of players and places where you can go put your factories and make more stuff. If you are the first person to that island at the moment, you don't have to pay anything extra. If someone else takes a journey action and chooses to come to that island too, they have to pay 1 for every other person that's there. 1 resource, obsidian, energy, or mycelium. So sometimes you're better off just opening up another island. In the expert game, these are set up in a circle, and you can only move between adjacent ones. If you take another journey action later on, you cannot stay on your own island, on the island you're currently on. You have to move to somewhere else. Eventually, all of these will be revealed. There's 9 islands, but in a 4-player game, you'll only see 7 of them. But either way, if you choose to place a factory, It'll open up more knowledge that you'll gain at the end of your turn. And either place it to get 2 of a factory or 1 of a factory. So factories start out without goods. You have to pay the costs by taking the tool action. Be a great little. Figuring out the layer in this room is always a challenge. And when you actually do produce, you have 2 options. Let's just have this as an example. Your options are, as I like to refer to them, either one for all, where you can make up to 1 good of each type that you can make, or all for one, where you choose 1 type of good and make as many as you can. When you actually spend the goods, you'll flip them back over. Simple goods can, as a free thing you can do on your turn, be spent for knowledge. Simple for 2 goods, complex for 3. You can also spend 3 knowledge on your turn to gain a resource. But anyway. And then there's... finally, there's the bonus action. The bonus action lets you take the discs that you currently have, or what other discs you could activate. It gives you an extra action for 1 of them. Upgrading your discs flips them to their golden side, and now you can use them twice when you choose to activate them. However, if you have multiple upgraded discs, you are limited to using 1 of them as an upgraded. You get 2 actions from that one, and any other ones you had will just get 1. You are capped at 4 actions. Anyway. So you'll have your actions that you do. When you are done with your actions, you have the opportunity to spend your knowledge, dedicate someone, kick someone else out. And then, of course, I should note this. The cost of doing so starts at 1, and it increases over the course of the game. And when you get to this point, the start of turn specials cost more. So the politicians and the swap and the rotate, the first time you do them in a given turn is 1 or 2 for the swap. Every time you do it again that same turn, it doubles from the previous thing you paid for. So if you try to do like 3 rotates in 1 turn, before this point, it's going to cost you 7 knowledge. So that better be worth it. But then, you'll have done all that, and then you'll get to the end of your turn. You'll get any new knowledge from your factories, and you will rotate each of your discs by 1 space. Yeah. Have fun planning ahead in this game. At the start of the turn, we take a token off the track, and we flip it over, and it becomes a 10x of something. In case, you get a whole bunch of ships, and upgrade the resource action, and bonus action to get more. Yeah. I was messing with this game, and I never needed these. But I was playing 2-player. Eventually, we'll get to the last turn, and everyone will have their last action, and then we'll go to points. So again, wherever you are, will affect points at the end. So let's just keep it kind of simple and for this demonstration purpose of how the points will be. Alright. So here's 2 steps up, and it's worth 4 points. So that's going to be worth 8. Step up for another 4 points. So up to 12. 4 steps up, and times 6, 24. Plus the previous 12 is 36. 2 and 8, 16. So it's 52. Alright, now these ones are worth keeping an eye on. Whichever one of your guys is the highest is multiplied by this. So 4 times 4 is 16. And then whichever one is your lowest is multiplied by this. So there's 8. Yeah, if you don't get all your guys out of there, that's a major point loss. For this, if someone is actually investing in it. Oh yes, there's one other thing I forgot about. If someone is ahead of you, or in fact if several people are ahead of you, you will need to pay 1 resource in addition to the resources or goods you're already paying to move up a step during the city action. So before the end of the game, I want to get up 1 more step. So not only am I paying 2 energy and or mycelium, I have to pay 2 extra resources to the bank. So there we go. And yeah, most points at the end will win. Tiebreaker. Efficiency is an important part, is a critical part of this game. If you are able to reach a tie, but have fewer ships and factories than the other player you're tied with, that wins you the game. Because efficiency is a good thing. Yeah. If there's still a tie, they're still tied, unfortunately. So you figure out a tiebreaker for this one. Yeah. So, I keep bringing up expert mode. What it does is, again, the islands are put into a circle face down. Or shuffle first, and then place face up in a circle. These are randomly determined, and then you'll take 1 of each disc. That's not a bonus. 3 in the large ring, 2 in the middle, 1 in the little ring. 4 of them have to be placed on the inactive half, and then 2 can be placed on the active. You'll start with no knowledge and no resources, and no free step on 1 of the paths. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Thing for their learning game is a free step on the path. Just because, I mean, if you're already figuring out what resource you're starting with, you can kind of look at where you want to go. Like, let's say I'm starting with obsidian. I might want to start on the obsidian path, or I want to be making dials and other stuff. I might want to start here just to be ahead of the curve. But yeah, that's the game. Noria. I caught this game at half of its at half price. This game brand new was $80. It would have cost me $80, but the store where I got it had it at like 40. And this is a good game, but I can see why it's kind of a hard sell at 80. But I do like this game. I really do. And I do recommend it. Just find it for cheap. Noria, another game for the collection. I will be totally trying it out this weekend. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. This has been Pillar Nexus. See you next time.